Hey guys, it's me, Rihanna. Just kidding, I wish. But as you guys can see for today's video, I'm going to be transforming myself into her look from the Met Gala. I feel like me and you were heavily inspired by it. I fell in love with that grunge but glam look. It's so good that I had to recreate. It's still September, but it's not too soon to start getting ideas for Halloween, start brainstorming. So if you guys wanted to recreate this look, or if you just want to see me create this look, stay tuned. Trust me, it's so much fun. I never like to do my brows on camera because I just like to speed up the process. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be doing my brows on camera. And in the photo, which I'm going to insert a photo here so that you guys can have it there for reference. It's on my hair. I just showered, so it's still like a little wet. In the photo, her eyebrows in the photo, her eyebrows look very like airbrushed and like powder like. And I don't have a powder. I don't really use like powders on my brows, but I'm gonna show you guys a little trick that you can do to make your eyebrows look as if they're powdered. I'm gonna start off with my Got2b hair gel. I always put a little bit on my hand, and then I'm using this little comb to lift these bad boys up. Her brows look very defined. You can tell that she has an arch going on. So excited. I need the heat to go away. I live in California, and the heat always tends to like linger for longer than it's welcome. Like, it's fall. What are you still doing here? You gotta go. I have a shirt on, I promise. It's just like a low cut. Looks like I don't because my hair is hiding it. But I'm wearing a shirt. Also like a little congested right now. Not COVID, I got tested. But my nose is like bothering me. So Uli went to get me a medicine ball and my pumpkin cream cold brew. I'm so happy these are back. I love the pumpkin cream cold brew so much. And I'm trying to kill that before my coffee gets like gross, you know. So this is the brows. It basically just like lays them out for me, and it's easier to fill them in. I'm gonna fill them in using the NYX micro brow pencil, and I'm gonna do really soft strokes. Now let me pull up the photo again. Her brows look like they have a hint of brown. I can't do that because I have really black hair, so I'm gonna stick to my black pencil, but I'm gonna do it super soft. So the brows are on. I did them pretty soft. Now to prep my skin, I'm using the Hero Collective Clear Moisturizer. Just gonna distribute the product everywhere. Don't forget the neck, ladies and gentlemen, because men should do their skincare routine as well. Now I'm gonna use a little bit of my Ole Henriksen Banana Eye Cream. Oh, I went too low. Giving my nails a break, you guys. I'm not gonna show you. Well, it's not too bad, but this nail right here, the acrylic kind of like peeled like a piece of my skin, and it's just like, so I'm taking a little break for now. Now for primer, I'm gonna use this Laura Mercier Foundation Primer Protect. I picked this up because it has SPF 30, so I think that's awesome, and it was only $10 at Marshall's. And it's a big bottle. It's a 1.7 fluid ounce. Take a little bit. Hopefully this doesn't give me a great cast. Please don't. Mostly like to focus it in my cheek areas because my makeup tends to like separate mostly on this portion of my face. It does smell like sunscreen, but I don't really mind the smell, but I'm just happy that it doesn't give you a cast. So, moving on to foundation. She looks very matte, so I'm still gonna stick to my favorite foundation at the moment. It's the Morphe Filter Effect foundation. Now this one is a very skin-like foundation. It's hydrating. I'm gonna still use this, but I'm gonna mattify certain areas of my face to kind of match her aesthetic using powders. So I'll start off with this. I mixed two shades. I mixed filter 16 and filter 19 because I'm a little tan right now. I'm just gonna use a flat Morphe 2 kabuki brush, and let me mix these two together, and I'll start to press it into my skin. It literally adds like a filter to your face. And it has hyaluronic acid. We love foundations that have good ingredients for our skin. Need a little bit more for this big forehead. That's one thing me and Rihanna got in common, just saying. Look at that. This brush is fire because it's very dense, so you get all the coverage out of the product. It's the Morphe 2 little kit. It comes in like a white bag. It don't work anymore, so I forgot already. Just kidding. I always go over my foundation with a sponge just to make sure that it's extra blended and that there's no fine lines left behind from the brush. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using my trusted NARS Creamy Radiant. I'm going in with the concealer because I noticed that her under eyes are very bright. So I'm going to show you guys what products you can use to really get that bright under eye look. Now, in the past, I used to use like super, like way lighter than my skin tone concealers to get that bright under eye, but it really just made me look crazy. So if you're trying to recreate this look or whatever look it is you're trying to come up with and you notice that the under eye is bright, don't go like ridiculous amounts lighter on the concealer, because trust me, it doesn't do the trick. What does the trick is powders, and I'll show you guys how to do that as we film this look. Got the sauce. You know I'm saucy. I need a new album, Rihanna. If you're watching this, Fenty team, tell her no pressure. I know she's tired of hearing it, but I do need a new album. Now before I set this under eye, I need to make sure that it's nice and super smooth. I'm not using too much powder as I dip in for more. I'm not using too much powder because I'm going to be adding another powder on top of this one. So very soft. This is soft for me. And then I'm going to set this area of my face. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same translucent powder and I'm going to cover this area, but I'm going to go over the eyebrows. Because what this is going to do, it's going to give that powdery brow look. It's going to get rid of any shine, so that our brows can look just like Rihanna's do without using powder product on the brows. Get it? Got it. Makeup tip of the day, which a lot of people do this. It's also going to set the product in place. I don't really do that because I don't have an issue with my brows fading away throughout the day. That would be terrible. But if you're somebody with like oily skin, or if you're using a brow pomade, this is a good tip for your everyday makeup routine so that your brows can last you a much longer time. Leave this on for too long. You see how much softer that made the brows look? They look like powder, very airbrushed. Our skin is looking nice and matte. We still ain't done yet. For her makeup look, she doesn't look like contoured or like sculpted, if that makes sense. She looks more bronzed, and I'm only going to focus the bronzer on my cheek area because we're going to be applying the headpiece. So I'm using the Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Beige and Guile, and I'm going to press this into my cheeks using the A21 Morphe X Makeup by Ariel brush. This thing is fire. Stopping the bronzer right here, like a little past the tail of the brow, because they also did like a little blush contour moment, so I'm gonna leave space for my blush. Also notice that she isn't wearing any highlighter. I looked at different photos to capture different angles and it doesn't look like it. Her face looks very matte, so we're not going to be adding any highlighter, just bronzer and blush. Before we proceed to the eyes, I'm going to spray my face with a Morphe Continuous Mist just to make sure that the powders are nice and melted and that we're not looking cakey. For the eyes, she has a very like soft purple, sultry / a little grunge glam moment. I have a few palettes right in front of me. Obviously, like, it's not necessary to use more than one palette, but sometimes I just like to have like a little option. I have my laptop here and I'm like looking at the photo. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm using. See this purple here? This is what I'm gonna use as a shimmer. This is from the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream palette. I don't think this palette is up for grabs anymore. I don't think they sell this anymore, but this is a beautiful palette. And this color right here is going to give me that look that she has going on her inner corner. I also have the Morphe 35C. I'm also showing you guys this so you can, you know, pick your options. Actually, this is a great color. I'm also going to be using the Morphe 35C. This is going to be my transition shade because her look is all purple, but there's like different tones of purple in there. So I'm going to be, you know, working with a few different palettes for that reason. I also have the Morphe 39S palette. I'm going to use this color here on the crease because it has a little more purple in it. So let's get the show on the road. Using the P. Louise eyeshadow base in Rumor number 2, I'm gonna prime my lids to make sure that everything is nice and clean. So for transition, we're using this shade here. I'm gonna mix these two to get a little bit of like a pinky purple tone that she has on the transition. And I'm also noticing that she doesn't take the transition like directly under the brow bone. She keeps it right under, so you want to be really, really careful with that placement. Now I'm going to dip in with this shade here using the A20 Morphe X Makeup by Ariel. All the brushes I'm using are by them. And I'm going to use this shade here to deepen the outer V. I'm not going to take it all the way in here, just focusing it here on like the outer part of the eye. Pick up a little bit more. Using very soft pressure with this color because I don't want it to be too intense. That's not what it looks like on her eyes. So see how I just deepened a little bit? That's exactly what we're going for. Just keeping it on the outer V. Now I'm gonna go back in with that transition shade just to kind of soften the edges a little bit. Now we can move on to the shimmer. I'm gonna use the Strawberry Dream palette and I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. I'm using this flat yellow P. Louise brush to add the shimmer on the lid. I love this brush for like shimmers. It's like perfect. It picks up nicely. And I'm not taking it too high, just a little bit over my natural crease line, kind of marrying it into the outer V portion. This is like the perfect color to match hers. I wonder what palette her artist used. I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna add a second layer of the shimmer, but this time I'm gonna add a little Fix Plus to make it look a little more wet. And go over it. Mainly in the inner corner. She doesn't really take it too far out, so just like right in here. I'm gonna press. I started doing my liner, didn't notice I wasn't filming. To create the wing, I'm using the Lollipop liner by Beauty Bakery. I love this stuff. Her wing isn't thick, and it's also not, ooh, I messed up, it's cool, we'll fix it. It's also not like super dragged out, it's very small. So I'm not gonna drag it too far. Went ahead and did the same thing to this eye. Now moving on to the lashes. Mine came out a little thicker, but whatever. The lashes will kind of cover it. I love the style of lash that she used. I feel like I haven't seen her in a lash like that. They're very like spiky, very spaced out. I have this pair here. I picked these up from Marshall's. This is by the brand Cara Beauty, and they're like this, so I feel like they'll give me that spiky, you know, gap effect that she has going on. If they don't work out, we'll pick another lash style, but let me pop these bad boys on so we can see how it looks. Okay, but these lashes are actually perfect. You see these like spiky little clusters that they have going on. I'm adding a little mascara to enhance those a little bit, kind of like hers. They're perfect. They're a little fuller than hers, but they give like that look. I'm obsessed. I'm looking like her. For the bottom shadow, I'm using this shade here. I'm gonna grab a good amount and I'm gonna drag this on my lower lash line. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I looked at several pictures to get like different angles, and one of them showed that she had like a yellow tight lined right over here. I'm sure she's wearing Trophy Wife. I don't have that, so I'm gonna use this beautiful gold yellow right here, which looks really similar to Trophy Wife, and I'm gonna drag that like in my lower lash line using this smudger brush. This is the A18, and then I'm also gonna take it in my waterline because she has it in there as well. Don't poke my eye. Now to coat the bottom lashes, I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. For blush, I'm going to be using the Fenty Cream Blush in Daiquiri Drip. Now for placement, I typically place mine right on the apples and I kind of drag it up. She has hers like here and kind of like married with her contour. So I'm going to be leaving this blank and I'm just focusing the product right over here and kind of pulling upward so that it meshes with the contour. Oh, I love her blushes. Can't stress that enough. I know I'm getting annoying, but they're just so good. I feel so weird not adding it here. I just want to go boom. Now that my blush is on, we're going to brighten our T-zone area. I'm using the Nikita Transformation palette, going with a pretty good amount, starting with the under eye because she looks very bright even here. Like I could tell that they like brighten this part of her face a lot. See the difference? I like to kind of sweep it down here so it's not too crazy, and then here just damp. Now we're looking bright like Rihanna. Going in with some setting mist. For the lips, she went in with like a really vampy, like burgundy purple tone. I love when she wears those shades. They look so good on her. I feel like those tones can like age you really quick, but she always looks so pretty when she has like a dark purple lip. So to line my lips, I'm gonna use the Morphe lip liner Clingy, and I'm just gonna define my lips a little bit. Rihanna has like the most perfect lips. I'm trying to give myself that Rihanna Cupid's bow, so I'm keeping it straight down here. Her lips aren't really like wide, they're more like, you know, narrowed and cute, and so I'm going definitely higher than my natural lip shape because I want her lips. I know the lip color, well, the lip liner is super off, but don't worry, it's just to kind of define the lips and to add a little bit of a red undertone. The lipstick that I'm going to be using is Sauvage. This is the Desi x Katie Dose of Colors collab. You guys, this lipstick's old. If this wasn't a collab that was limited edition, I would have thrown this out by now. But I'm going to use it. Who cares? I'm the only one who's used it. I know it's pretty gross, but I don't want to get rid of it because they never restocked on it. And yeah, I wanted to keep it for memories. I'm so glad I did because look, it's like the perfect tone. Then I'm going to add it over. Look at that. This is a perfect shade. It's like a burgundy lip color, but it also has like a hint of black. It's like perfect. I'm living for this lip color. It is literally exact. Rihanna, you're making me get out of my comfort zone. I'm wearing something other than nude. Thank you for that. I just need to kind of like blur the lines a little bit, blend a little better. Rihanna is like notorious for doing like really grunge but glam looks, and she just pulls them off beautifully. I had to recreate this. I might even be this for Halloween. That's it for the makeup portion, you guys. I'm obsessed with how it turned out. Now for the beanie and the headpiece, please don't make fun of me. I had to get super crafty, okay? So I bought a shirt. I have a black beanie already, so that's perfect. And then I bought a shirt that had like these balloon sleeves on them, so that I could get like this sheer material. And I know what you guys are thinking, why didn't you go to Joann's Fabrics, why didn't you go to Michael's and just buy like a fabric? Because I'm more than sure that they have this. So the reason why I picked this up is because it has like this elastic here that's gonna hug my head, It looks really messy because it had beads on it and I had to get rid of it. But we're gonna finesse this. I know that it's gonna work, so just bear with me. I got this. Okay, let me show you. Oh, and I also bought these little jewels from Dollar Tree. So the shirt was like $5. I just cut off the balloon sleeves, and then these bad boys were $1. I love to DIY, you guys. It's so much fun. I don't have Rihanna money, I don't have a designer, so I'm doing this for myself, and I think that's so fun. So let's get into it. She has like 2 curls hanging off the sides of her brows, so I'm gonna bring these bad boys out. I'm gonna curl this with my straightener. I'm just like pulling the pieces that I need right now. She has one here. This is so funny. So this is the headpiece situation. It looks crazy. I feel crazy, but trust the process. I wanted the band so that it could hug my head, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the jewels over it, and then we'll fix the hair, of course. So again, trust the process. Had to use like eyelash glue to stick these on because I thought that they were stickers, but no, they need glue. And the thing with the lash glue is that it takes like a few seconds to dry before you can stick it on, so it's a little bit of a challenge, but we love a challenge. Because they come like in a straight line, I came up with a genius idea all late after I already did this one, to just cut it in half and then glue them in doubles like this to kind of like save time. So the headpiece is done. It came out so much better than I expected. Let me show you guys the shirt. This is the shirt that I use. It's like a $5 balloon sleeve shirt from Ross, and then I just cut this and I took these beads off, and I used this elastic part to grip my head, and that's where I like placed the beads over it, and I'm so happy. I'm gonna go curl these pieces of hair and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I went ahead and curled my little hairs and added this puffer jacket. Obviously hers isn't a puffer, she has it like all the way up here, but this isn't set up like that. So I would totally wear this for Halloween. It's not that hard. This is the only part that's like difficult, but it came out better than I expected. I would pair this with like a long ribbed bodycon dress and some black Fenty creepers, add a little twist to it. Or you can also wear it with silver heels. You guys, it's still September, but I'm gonna be putting out Halloween content, different looks that you guys can create. I had way too much fun doing this. Please give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below if you'd recreate this, or what are your thoughts. Do you think that I nailed it? Do you think that I didn't, you know, give Rihanna justice? I am obsessed, and it was my first attempt, and I felt like I did a great job. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye guys.